This has been what?
Go ahead.
We haven't. We're out of sync. We're out of sync here. Okay, let's get back in sync. I'm not doing the
back streets. Back.
Nope. I thank everybody for bearing with us. We had a podcast release, kind of kerfuffle, partly my fault, mostly Quinnton's fault, but we'll take responsibility where responsibility is required. But yeah, very stressful. For those of you who don't know, I'm moving to Utah, and I'm gonna be sleeping in Quinnton's bed, just cuddling up next to him. He doesn't know this; he's finding out right now. And it's very exciting, but I had asked in our Slicer chat, in our Salt Lake City chat, if I should get undercoating like spray. Is that a thing? So like
I don't even know what you're talking about.
When you salt the roads, I should get undercoating spray so it doesn't get corroded. Is that a thing? Or should I just spray it with water and I'll be fine?
If it is a thing, I'm not aware of it.
Really?
Most of the car washes here have an undercarriage wash feature, where when you drive through them, they'll automatically just give your undercarriage a little spritz.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I can do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah,
I do need new tires though.
Yeah, either having, if you're doing one set, having like an all season set, or if you're doing two sets, getting a winter set and a summer set, or winter and then all season.
What do you have?
I have just all season.
Okay.
Because I'm not made of money.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I would love to be able to say, yeah, let's just flip on the new winter set because we're gonna go up into where the snow is.
In the end, you'll spend about the same, because you'll have two sets of tires, but they'll have, like, instead of running one 12 months out of the year, it's like one is, let's say, 4 and the other one is 8. So they'll wear down at different times, and so their wear will be extended longer.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't have to replace tires as much. It's the upfront cost that's a little bit hard to swallow.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, but the more that I put it off, the more daunting it's gonna be.
Are you going to move to an all-wheel drive car?
Well, I mean, eventually, but I can't just, I mean, we're talking about tires here and how difficult it's going to be for me to be able to afford the tires. You now want me to buy a new car. Like,
it's a monthly fee versus a upfront cost. I mean, obviously that's easier.
Right. Like, I'm not made of money. I think we've established this. And as much as I do enjoy spending money on the things that make me happy, I also will not have a car very quickly because I won't be able to keep up with the payments.
Tony, I just to let you know, this 2022 Subaru starts at only $30,000. You got this.
Okay. I just want to let you know. No. It's a what's
the term? There are financing options available, and you've been pre-approved.
Get off my phone. I don't need to extend my car's warranty. I know I didn't win any kind of timeshare. I'm not spending an hour in your meeting for you to convince me that I don't need to be there. But since you're here, you might as well listen to me.
No,
have you ever been to those? Timeshare
meetings? I haven't, but I've heard good things on the meetings if you have a strong will to you.
Yeah.
Because there are ones that they're obviously very high pressure sales, very high pressure, but in the end, like, just for going, they'll give you like plane tickets and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like you have to have the strongest of wills.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, honestly, what I've always thought is it comes down to, you need to not have the strongest of wills. You need to have something you're not interested in. Like, let's say it's, oh, we're going to sell you this timeshare that's all about using it for going to the Super Bowl. And it's a timeshare that moves and it follows the Super Bowl. And everywhere the Super Bowl is, you'll have somewhere to go. So you can go to the Super Bowl every year. Won't that be the coolest thing? And I'll be like, I don't care.
I don't know this foosball that you speak of.
Like straight up, I'd be like, okay, that's cool. That's really cool. Like that's a cool concept. Here's the thing though. I do not care.
Yeah, I've been to 3 when I was younger. And one of them, I was very open to the idea of actually owning a timeshare, to the point that when they said, would you like to sign here on the dotted line and give us some money up front to secure the potential of you getting a timeshare? Yes, I can see your face. I said, yes, thank you. I will sign on the dotted line and give you $400 in order to secure my possible buy-in to another into the timeshare, but I have to come back for that. So that was my younger years. But for just being there, you're right. My girlfriend at the time and I, we got free tickets to Las Vegas. We got a free ticket. We got free hotel in Las Vegas. We got a bunch of like money that we could spend on the strip in these predetermined bars and restaurants. So all in all, with regard to that particular outing and venture that we did, it was very, I wouldn't say profitable, but it was something that was very rewarding. It was worth our time.
Yeah.
The timeshare part of it, though, not so much. Not so much. So what had happened was that when I said yes and I signed on the dotted line and they gave us the tickets, essentially, it's like, great, cool. We'll see you guys next week and we'll finalize everything. Literally on the way home, I got cold feet. I was like, I can barely afford 200 of these dollars to put down. And you know what? Even if I lose this free ticket to Las Vegas or whatever, it's fine because I can't afford this. I'm holding on to a job at a temp agency. I shouldn't be looking to buy anything, let alone a timeshare. So I gave a call back to the guy, and of course, he's not very happy. But right. I told him, like, look, there's literally nothing I can do. Like, oh, but what about $10 a month? I'm like, I would love to, but I can't. So after the hemming and hawing and the back and forth, he finally said, fine, we'll send you a refund or whatever.
Wow, you actually got a refund. I'm impressed.
Yeah, no. They will refund you, or else it's legal obligations and stuff like that. They don't, at least in my experience, they don't want to deal with that. So they gave us a refund. The second and third time that I went to a timeshare meeting, I had much bigger cojones, and I was much more apt to be able to say, yeah, no thanks. Because before I was cool. Like, oh, but this is a nice guy, and yes, I know he's a salesman, but he's a nice guy. Nope, I don't care. I really don't care. Whatever you're about to sell me, I just want that thing. The thing that's on the desk over there that you're pointing to, like,
I want the Swatch.
So yeah, if you do ever go to one of these timeshare meetings, I do highly recommend that if you yourself don't have the fortitude to say no, go with somebody that will. Go with somebody
don't go with them.
Huh?
Don't go with them, honestly. Like, don't even, like, send someone in your place. If you don't have the fortitude to say no, you shouldn't be there at all. Like, well, even if you're with someone that,
so they could write your name, so your name can be on the tickets that they give you.
Oh, if they
yeah. That's
wear
kind
earplugs.
Of how they get you. They're basically like, hey, you can send your friend, fine, but your friend's getting these free tickets, not you.
What we'll do is we'll put like headphones in, like little tiny headphones, so they're just hearing like elevator music the entire pitch.
Now, I remember when we were going to this one timeshare, it was for a timeshare of a cabin on a cruise. Because that's another version of the timeshares.
Interesting.
And they were like, yeah, it's like you own the cabin. Like, no, you don't own the cabin.
It's a timeshare.
Yeah, it's kind of like you own the cabin. It's like, okay, then I kind of like own this space in the meeting room because I'm here. Is that the same thing? No, it's not the same thing. And it's not the same thing of me owning the cabin. Because the second that I leave the cabin, someone else is going into said cabin. I didn't invite them. I didn't allow them. No, but you own it during the time that you're there. Like, oh, you mean like a hotel? Because that's basically what that is. Right?
I'm sorry, friend, but the answer is no.
And so I remember to this day, there's an episode of King of the Hill where Hank Hill's dad gets swept up in this timeshare opportunity. And he buys into this idea that he's going to own land in Mexico. And it's, timeshare resort out there. And he gets it and everything. But the only reason why he gets it is because, the salesmen, they have different personalities of salesmen. They got the really pushy salesman. And then they also have the salesman who's like, I'm going to get fired if I don't close this. But, behind closed doors, like, what a schmuck,
Yeah. Which one did he fall for?
I don't remember, but he fell for it. And it was this whole thing with the plot line to get Hank Hill to finally convince the timeshare people, I'm going to sue you or something to that effect. And this is why I'm going to win if you don't let my dad out of this timeshare. And they finally let him out of the timeshare. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen that episode yet. But if you ever end up in a timeshare meeting, Quinnton, let me know. I will be there to hold you down.
Like I said, it just needs to be either something I'm not interested in or something I could never afford. Like, we're gonna get you a condo at Buckingham Palace.
No, but here's how they do it. Like, they start high. They do the top down selling for only $600 a year, or something like let's just say $100 a month. For $100 a month, you could have your own timeshare, and when you go and you take advantage of the timeshare, you don't pay anything extra because you've already paid essentially in advance. You just, have to find the time when nobody else is using the room or whatever, and you're good to go. And then you say, well, I can't afford $100. Okay, no, I get it, Mr. Firewall. I get it. It's hard these days. The economy's difficult. For you to come out here, how much did it cost gas for you to come out here? Yeah, that's expensive. No, it sucks. It really sucks. I'm going to talk to my manager. and see if we can get you some. No, I hear you. I know you said no. Let me just find out. Hold on. Let me just find out. He comes back. I got you something. We never do this for anybody else.
Yes.
I can get you essentially the same deal, but it's only $50 a month. That's $50. That's half off. We never do this. You can't. Okay. What could you do? What is a number? So I can just tell my boss. So I can tell him that I tried. What's a number that you could do that, not that you would use a timeshare annually, because that's just silly. You would probably go, every 2 years, every 3 years, maybe 2 years, every year, every 4 years. Okay, well, all right. I mean, you probably every 4. Yeah. So if you split that in half, and you figure out the quotient. Yeah. So every 2 years. Let's just say every 2 years. Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah. What number is comfortable for you and your family? $25
a month.
$25 a month. What if you did $25 every 2 weeks? Is that something that
Shut up.
that could you do? You see where this is going, right? So the actual pitch is probably 20 minutes because again, they don't want to waste your time. And then you sit at, these groups, and then they have a salesperson come over to you. They look at your dossier and then they relate to you as much as possible. I don't hate these people at all. I just hate the approach. And I hate, as a salesperson myself, and I know the game of manipulation, I hate that they have to resort to those methods.
Mm-hmm.
But it works, and they're not going to stop until it stops working.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, but it's not going to work on me, and I'm not interested. Thank you, no.
I'm trying to think, like, what could, like, if there were, like even if it was, because, Disney has their own timeshares. I'm like, would Quinnton care about Disney? I don't think so. Like, yeah, like we will put you in the Star Wars hotel, the hotel that you and I first talked about, the very first episode of this podcast. We will put you in the Star Wars hotel, and every single morning, R2-D2 will wake you up. It's like, well, okay, that's cool, but I don't need it every year. Like,
yeah.
Like, I can totally see your father-in-law going, so, Quinnton, what's this extra $50 going toward, like, Sunrise Homes? What is that? Like, oh, R2-D2. What?
R2-D2, I need to feed his family.
But I'm helping Marvel and LucasArts because,
Because, they're so strapped for cash.
What?
Oh, no. Honestly, like, yeah, I could kind of see a scenario in which I would sign up for a timeshare of a certain kind, but it would have to be such a, like, niche market of, like, this is what I'm looking for right here, and if it's not in this tiny little column of stuff, I'm not interested.
So can you give me three? Can you give me two things, two examples of niche things that will make you go, all right, I got to talk to the family because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for me. What would those two things be?
I would be interested in, like, Maddie's family has a yearly timeshare up at Snowbird.
Okay.
Every single year they go up there, and they have, like, between everyone, I think it's like 10 plus rooms across the entire building.
Also,
and
when you do your annual thing in Snowbird that you're doing next month, that's part of a timeshare?
Yeah, it's a timeshare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
They signed up for it something in the realm of like 40 years ago.
Okay.
It's been a long time. Which is funny because I'm starting to realize, like, they signed up for it kind of closer to when Snowbird opened, because Snowbird's been open about that same amount of time. And I'm like,
maybe it was one of those deals. Like, hey,
yeah,
we
like
have a brand new resort, and you could be a part of this on an annual, biannual basis.
Yeah.
Come on down.
And it's like the annual fee is like for the small room that the way it works is, like, her grandmother owns like 2 or 3 rooms, and one of the rooms we pay the yearly fee for, so me and her can just have the room to ourselves. And it's a smaller room, like, well, small, but it's like it has room enough for 2 beds and stuff, and like we can fit like a party in there and like play rock band and stuff like that. Anyway, our yearly fee is like, what is it, like $290, something like that.
That's your annual. That's your annual $290.
Yeah,
for that room.
Yeah.
Okay, so just kind of thinking about it and knowing how much a room would be at Snowbird or at any resort.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a steal.
That's
It's a steal.
very attractive.
Yeah. So if someone was to say, "Hey, I'm selling a room like in that week that all the family's there, and this is a room that has like the multi-story room and everything, and like the fancier version, because they obviously have we have the small set, there's a fancy set. If they had the fancy set available, yeah, I'd be interested in buying it if money was in the right spot and stuff. Yeah, 100%, I'd be interested in buying that.
Even though it's in your hometown?
Yeah, because we go there every year, and it's fun. It's so fun.
Okay.
It's like a tradition. It's been a tradition for longer than Maddie's been alive.
I feel like I would want to, if I were to be able to afford a timeshare, it would be in a timeshare network where it's not just one place, but they open up rooms in other locations around the globe. So like I know the Marriott does this in their timeshares. They have timeshares up in I was going to say Utah. I'm sure they do, but they also have timeshares in Tahoe, at Salt Lake. Salt Lake. Oh my God, at Lake Tahoe.
Yeah,
and I mean they're gorgeous rooms. It's a wonderful facility, but that family who got the timeshare, for the honeymoon, they just got a timeshare in Hawaii. You know, they just said, okay, with our existing membership, we now want to. We're gonna use our timeshare allotment for the year for a room in Hawaii. And I was like, that's kind of what I want, but I just can't see myself spending $100 a month for something I may or may not use. That's the thing. For you, the tradition that you know every year, the second or third week of August, that everybody in the family is going to go to Snowbird without fail, that's worth it. But for something that, hey, we might go and take advantage of this, it's I can't see myself doing, at least not right now. But I don't see the benefit of that.
Yeah, no, I 100% would jump on it if I could get the week. The other time would be getting a timeshare in Snowbird during the winter. Having just a fun week up there would be really fun. The other thing, there is a reason why, is I know how those work in terms of like year to year and stuff, and it's like I could get out of it because it's like you can buy and sell slots of like, hey, I'm paying you $1,000 and I get your slot every year and I will pay the yearly fee. But if I want out, I can do the same thing as you and I can sell my slot for the $1,000 and make my money back.
Do you only sell that one slot for that year so you don't completely give up the timeshare?
You can do either way. You can do, I sell my slot permanently to someone and that would sell for like $1,000, or I could sell my year, just this year, because I'm not going to use it, and I could sell it for probably the same amount that the cleaning fee, the yearly fee is, the $300, and just have someone pay me $300. So I'm like, cool, I don't have to worry about the cleaning fee.
Oh, one of the podcasts I listen to is Stuff You Should Know, and they go into kind of random topics of things a lot of things are very mundane. You don't really think about. Like I'm listening to the history of ketchup right now. Like, did you know ketchup was first like essentially fish paste?
Ew.
Like, yeah, but you know, now we know it as tomato ketchup. But you know, for a long time, tomatoes were just determined to be disgusting. It wasn't until Heinz essentially came up with the recipe to say, hey, this is actually pretty dang good.
It's pretty dang good when you add a crap ton of sugar.
Episode on timeshares. I have to look that up. So I was watching a movie that's available now on Amazon Prime called Tomorrow's World. It stars Chris Pratt and a few other notable characters. In a nutshell, there's a war 30 years in the future, and somehow they come up with the technology to go back into the future and warn everybody, hey, there's a war. 95% of the human population is dead because of these creatures. We need to bring you to the future and help us kill them. So we're not here to talk about the movie. I want to ask you.
Okay.
This is essentially 30 years, so your children, your best friend's children, and possibly their children are dead because of these creatures, these aliens. Would you willingly go fight? Or would you say, you know what? It's not really my problem. Maybe we could figure something out, beforehand, before it starts. But I don't see me going actually helping your cause.
My knee-jerk reaction is like, why is this the best solution? Why is coming back to the past and grabbing me as like a foot soldier the best solution? Why are you not like, hey, let's go backward? Like, if we have time travel, why are we not going backwards to like, prevent them from ever invading or whatever? Like I'd immediately be asking questions. It's just like, why is this your best bet? Like, I don't believe you based on just basic logic of like, this seems wrong. Now in the movie, I'm assuming they took care of that like plot hole. And this is where you chime in and say yes or no.
Kind of.
Oh,
they kind of do it.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to ruin it for anybody that might be watching. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Kind of. That would be my situation though. Without doing spoilers and stuff like that, I'd be just like, okay, we got to have a little bit of a talk, and we can have as long as a talk because apparently you have time travel, so we can just sit here for as long as necessary and figure out why this is the best solution: is grabbing me as a foot soldier and bringing me in the future.
Yeah. Like my initial like knee-jerk reaction is very similar. It's like me?
Yeah.
You want me.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
what am I
the one
going to add to this? Like, have you seen me play Ground War in Call of Duty? You don't want me out there, because what I'm gonna do is get all like gung ho and like yes, I am going to save. I'm gonna help save humanity. Let's go, people! Like, I'm just gonna die like right away.
Yeah,
like, it's not gonna be beneficial at all.
Did you run out of grunts and so you're looking to us kind of thing? Like,
that's kind of what they were doing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of what they were stating here. I don't know. I feel like the questions that you're asking are extremely valid. And in the words of Ryan George, who does what's called pitch meetings on YouTube, and he does a parody of pitching movie ideas, and this was one of them. Here's the answer to all the questions of why are they doing it this way? And the answer is to make the movie happen. Oh, okay.
Why is it this? To make the movie happen. What?
And like his whole shtick when it comes to very valid, this is a giant plot hole. Why are you allowing this? Why aren't we discovering, or why aren't we talking about you making this decision? The answer is to make the movie happen. It's like, oh my God. All right. Then if we're just doing it to make the movie happen, fine. Here's my answer. I wouldn't be a fan of it. I would be definitely on the side of, I don't know about protesting, because of course in the movie there were protests about bringing people to the future. I don't know if I would go that far to protest, but it was a mandatory draft, so there was only so much that I could do. And if I tried to run, I would be imprisoned, and then they would take my next of kin, or the person that is closest related or in my life, aka Aurelia, and send her instead. That was kind of the thing to say. Well, if you're not going to, we're taking your fiance, and if she's not going to,
draft,
both of you are going to go into prison, and then we're taking her brother, and so on and so forth.
Jeez, there's a giraffe. That's great.
I think if I had to essentially fight a war that I was not involved in, we had no other evidence of when the aliens came about, like when they landed, as you were saying. I feel my knee-jerk reaction at that point would be, okay, let's try and figure out if we can find out when they land. Like, are they here now in this present time?
Yep.
If they're not, then cool. Maybe we can maybe we can like prepare for it. Now in the movie they said there were no like falling stars or meteors in the last 30 years, so they definitely didn't land in the last 30 years, which leads me to believe they're already here. So I don't know. I would like to say I'm going to fight for the nation, not just America, but the world. I would like to say I want to fight and put my life down, for this earth. I just don't know what I'm offering. I can offer you a great subscription to Microsoft 365 and be a great teammate in Apex Legends. I don't know what, and I can play you a lullaby on the cello, but I don't know exactly what else I could actually actively and true blue, like, give you that would make you say, yes, that's a good soldier.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what I'd be bringing to the table.
But again, in the movie, they said if you do die in the future, your family will get $1 million. So
that's not a lot of money.
It's something. For some people, it's a lot of money.
Nope.
So you wouldn't die for... I can't kill you for $1 million to go to your family.
No, not even close.
How much do you think your life is worth for that trade-off?
For money, infinite.
Oh, well then you're insane.
There is no amount of money on this earth that could convince me to give up my life.
Well, no, not that you're gonna give up your life.
But oh, we'll give your family X amount of dollars. It's like, you might as well just say infinite, because there's not enough money on the planet to equal that, because I value my life higher than monetary value.
Okay. No, that's a fair point.
So no, I don't think there's an amount of money that could do it. Is there an amount of money that you could be convinced with?
Yeah, but it would still be of the exorbitant amount. I mean, we're talking trillions of dollars in my head. Like even like $1 trillion. But then at that point, if they're giving out trillions of dollars to families that have lost their loved ones, we're gonna have a deficit. Like the dollar's not going to be worth as Dogecoin is right now, and that hurts to say. But if that were the case, like, we're going to give you 30 million Dogecoin or 30 trillion Dogecoin. Like right now, I'm like, I mean, thanks, but you couldn't do that like last April, like when it mattered. Like right now, it doesn't matter at all. Like 30 trillion Ethereum, maybe. But yeah.
Well, even then, it's like, how long is it going to take you to sell all that?
Oh God.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
it's just
flooding.
I remember
the
there was a story
with cryptocurrency.
I don't remember what country it was, but it was like their dollar value was so low. The like Navy sailors kind of guys were going home with barrels of cash to make their like pay worth it, because their dollar value was so low. Mm-hmm. It was pennies.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it would be the same scenario of like, okay, here's $30 trillion. It's like, okay, but that's like a trip to McDonald's at this point because of how much you've handed out.
Right. No, I would have to get the payout first. Like, okay, I'm gonna go. You give me money now, and then I'm gonna go reinvest it in something that more than likely is just gonna go up in value.
Yeah.
Like corn.
Coffins, apparently.
Coffins. I guess in that case, like fabrication and wood.
Yeah, there you go.
Where'd he make all of his money? In death. Like, oh, that's morbid. Like, oh, I don't know what to tell you. It happened. People died.
People die.
Lots of people died. But yeah, if you want a good background movie to just have in the background, if you have Amazon Prime, it's free on that. Tomorrow's World. Go check it out. We're not paid to say this.
Have you ever gone cliff jumping?
I wouldn't call it a cliff, but I know what you speak of. But I've never
like
gone
high
that
diving,
high
that
because
kind of
I'm
thing?
not insane to jump that high.
So what's the highest point you've jumped into, like a thing of water, a body of water from?
Oh, God, I mean, it was a diving board or a diving platform at a pool.
Okay.
And I want to say it was like 20 feet, but at the time I was a kid, so it could have only been like 10. But
Yeah,
I want to say it was like 20 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. Why do you ask?
So I'm sure you saw the Snapchats, but we were up at the Olympic Park in Utah, and during like the summer, there's days where people can just go sign up and do diving and like practice their own things and stuff. And it seemed like kind of that was the case of everyone was kind of doing their thing. And one guy was practicing high diving from about 88 feet.
I'm sorry for those listening. I apologize for blowing out your speakers. Oh my God. How high? 80 feet?
88.
88. That's almost 90. No human needs to jump off it for any reason unless the thing behind you is blowing up. And you need to...
No, it was intense because like at the bottom they had, of course, the running water to break up the surface tension, right?
Is that what that was?
Yep.
I was wondering about that. Okay.
Yep. They have running water. You'll notice in any high dive situation, they always have running water to break the surface tension of the water. Sometimes they'll even have like jet streams of air underneath to just add air bubbles to the water, and again just break up the surface tension and make it easier for you to slip into and fall into. And
right.
You'll notice there's a controller person who will turn that off immediately the moment you hit the water if it's the air thing, because then it makes it hard to swim and you'll sink, which will kill you.
That will kill you.
Yeah. So they'll turn it off so you just you hit the water and then all of a sudden you float, and it's great. They had two lifeguards. They had two lifeguards in the water waiting for him in case. They're not even like think about that for a second. They're not just sitting on the side, in their little perch thing, just da 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 da. No, they're already in the water with lifeguard gear, just kind of chilling, waiting to make sure this dude is okay. And the thing that killed me is everyone's got their phones out.
But go on.
Fair enough. The thing though was everyone had their phones out and was waiting to record him and stuff, because he was kind of hesitant. He wasn't just got up there and just jumped. He went up to the edge a couple times, walked away, and you could tell everyone's kind of feeling the same thing of we want to see you jump. I want to get this recording, but also no pressure, because I couldn't do it.
Right.
And then there's one kid
witnessing a guy killing himself right now.
Yeah. Breaking something, but
your time.
Yeah. No, but there's one kid. There was one kid off to the side who all of a sudden just is do it, do it, do it. And he only said it 3 times and then stopped, because me and the person I was with both turned to him, and I was about ready to say, "You do it." You little rat of a kid. That dude has bigger balls than me, and go him. He could have it. he wins.
I
You win.
can't imagine walking up that scaffolding.
Yeah,
to that height.
Walking, because it's like, it's not exactly like some really well built thing. It is like temporary structure scaffolding.
So, because 99% of you guys hadn't seen the video that Quinnton showed me. I don't know if you have a copy of it that we can put in the show notes. But Quinnton already zoomed into this guy. And when you zoom in on Snapchat or something, it's kind of very shaky because it's in your hand. He zoomed in on this guy, and then he zoomed out, and then kept zooming out, and then kept zooming out. I'm like, when is this gonna stop? Oh my god, that is very high. And then one of our friends in one of the Snap groups, before you could finish the video, said, "So did he jump?" The video continued after her comment, and he finally jumped, and I was just like, I can't. Nope. No, thank you. Nope, I can't. Like, here's you get the medal for everything. Like you have the biggest bravery of everything. Like, wow.
No, and her comment was honestly fair, because like the time between, because I recorded him when he first got up there, but it wasn't for like about 10 minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes before he actually jumped. So her comment of like, you gonna leave us hanging? Did he actually jump? That kind of thing, it was fairly valid, because it was a very large period of time between recording him like, hey, there's a dude that just got up there, and then just not having a response. Because he got up there. I recorded his approach to the edge was his very first approach to the edge, and like I said, he approached and walked away multiple times to the edge, which again, perfectly fine. Like, you want to do it 100 times, you get after it. One of the coolest things I saw, though, I have to mention this really quick. One of the coolest things is when they were doing, like, when he was jumping and like other people were jumping and stuff, they had a pair of drones that were going and like recording people jumping. And like doing like really cool pano shots and stuff like that. But one of the drone operators was wearing a VR or AR headset. And I was like, I could do that. Like, if that was my job, if that was like what I got hired for, 100% sold. I would do that every day of my life.
So were they were hired by the facility
I don't know.
Video?
I don't know who, like, all that was like way too far away for me to interact with. And I wasn't going to be like, hey, Mr. Man who's wearing the AR headset, I have questions.
Busy. Excuse me. I need to talk to you real quick.
No, I wasn't about to do that. So I don't know, like, how he was getting paid, if he was getting paid. Maybe he was just a friend of the group or something. But it was really cool to see, like, because his drone went up and I was like, well, how is he operating it? And there was one guy that was looking at the little like iPad kind of thing, just watching the tablet. But then he was just like, he's just sitting there. You can see him with like what looks like almost like an Oculus on his head, and he's just sitting there, just going to town. And I'm like, that's, I could do that.
Yeah,
I could be all over that.
I've seen, we've all seen some amazing drone footage of things of that nature. So that would be kind of cool to be
the shot.
Yeah, this is my job.
Yeah, because I watched a lot of his, like, a lot of the different shots he was taking and stuff like that. My favorite one is the guy he was at the top. He was kind of towards the edge. He was standing there, and the drone got about 25 feet from this like scaffolding building and did a giant circle around it while tracking him the entire time. And that kind of shot that turns out with, of like the slow moving foreground object and the fast moving background. And I'm just like, I know what shot you're getting right now, and I want to see it because I know it's going to turn out really good.
So did they project those shots onto like a monitor?
No. Okay. This was the whole situation was very casual, very like, you can walk up, watch for as long as you want, walk away, go do your own thing. Like, it was very like free swim status, except people are doing, crazy jumps on skis and off of giant scaffolding.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, but it was very just like chillax and like come join us if you want. You don't have to. It was really cool to watch. It made me want to. They have a a session you can sign up for $110, and it's 2 hours, and they'll teach you how to jump on skis on like one of the smaller jumps, which like if it's the smaller jump I was looking at, it's pretty small. Like even I'm like, okay, let's do it. Like let's send it. Like that sounds fun.
Wait, so how high is the small jump?
The small jump's pretty not high.
Oh, okay.
Like
is
not
that
at
also
all.
Is that also going into the pool, or
Yeah,
that's just going? Yeah. Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's going
Okay.
into the pool.
I guess it makes sense to have the lifeguards there too, especially for the jumpers with the skis, because you have skis on. And so if you're struggling when you get into the pool with your skis on because of that extra weight, they're there to, make sure you don't go to the bottom.
They float.
Oh, the skis float?
The skis that you use for that situation float.
Okay, so when you take this class, you'd have to rent floatable skis, essentially.
As far as I understand, you have to have special skis. The reason for like that I realized this is there was one guy that was practicing, and I think he had his own pair. But the front area of the skis, where like the nice, cool looking top sheet would be, it was hollow. Like you could see all the way through the skis. Like there was nothing there. You could hold the skis and put your hands like that inside of them. Yeah, it was interesting, and I was like, that makes sense because it probably like lessens the water.
Sure. Because
there's nothing there.
Right.
But yeah, they're as far as I understand it, I haven't done the full research yet, but as far as I understand, they're special skis and they float because everyone who was doing it would hit the water. They were wearing a very thin life jacket because all you need to do is really just barely float. And then their legs always went up behind them and very much were just like skimming the top of the water. So yeah, as far as I could tell, they were skis that float, and I don't know how they got them off so easily, but it always seemed like they got to the edge and then just all of a sudden the skis, they were just picking them up. And I'm like, how did you? Because I know like skis aren't terribly hard to get off, but they seem to just like auto eject when they got to the edge. And I was like, that doesn't make sense, but I haven't done it yet. So hopefully I can report back soon. Once I have like $100.
Once they hit the water, the impact of hitting the water causes the skis to just
eject,
come off. Yeah,
I mean
that'd be dangerous.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought of like it is possible if the DINs were set low enough, but I'd imagine the DINs are set high enough that you're not going to have shrapnel basically coming off of your feet as you hit water.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Because that was my thought too of like, oh, they must come off with the moment you hit the water because that'd be dangerous for them to stay on. It's like, bro, they're more dangerous to stay off because then you've just got these like these rods that are just like, who knows where they're going to end up.
Like, oh, no.
Yeah, are they going to shoot off to the side? That's fine. Are they going to impale you? That's not so fine.
Fine, yeah. Yeah, if you ever find out, and if you ever do it, let us know. Go buy a GoPro and go shoot some video of you doing some ski swimming, because that'd be kind of cool to check out.
I'm hopeful. It could be fun.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching and or listening. You can find us on pretty much anything and anywhere podcasts are found, but we also have our own Instagram. If you go to instagram.com/stillrecordingpodcast, some behind the scenes stuff as well as our episode announcements are there. But if people want to follow you directly, Quinnton, where can people do that?
On Instagram and Xbox at Firewall.
Yes, find me at those places under Lazy Tech Tony. Here on Twitch, twitch.tv/LazyTechTony. Later on today, which is the 26th of July, my daughter and I are going to be reacting to a ton of music videos. So come check that out. And in the meantime, y'all have a great one. And I don't know when the next time we'll be doing a podcast because of my move. But the Still Recording Instagram page would probably be the best place to find out any schedule changes. So until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
heart.